Hi, it's Malcolm here, and this is just a quick video to show you how to select the TP top rated selections in the TTS or trade targeting software. So I've been doing a few trades in the cash out trading group over the last few days, and I've been getting questions from people about well, how do you do that, and what are you doing to actually do it. Okay, so all I do is fire up TTS in the morning. You kind of got this here, and go here. So basically we've got all the kind of ratings, so I'll quickly run through them. So we've got the runner, the last one by, if they've won, there's a figure there. Recent form, dob form is have they dobbed in play, and how often have they, if they did. Pace form is another speed rating that I've kind of created using information from their previous races, and then you get a pace average as well. We got a FC rank or forecast rank, what the papers would be expecting, and then we've got 6 a.m. and then we got these averages. These are kind of explained in the members area, but these are all different averages based on information about prior races that the horse has been in, and the number of tips it's got from top tipsters. And then I've added a couple of these numbers up to create these new ones. Now the 1/3 is quite a popular one as well. But you can sort by many of these columns, but I sort by the TP, the top rate, what I call the top rated, which is basically all these numbers added together to create this TP. So we then know who's got the highest. Now obviously with favourite races, with novice races and maidens, there's going to be a lot of horses in there with no ratings, and also these ratings are going to be made up from very little information, so you kind of have to take them with a pinch of salt. What you're really looking for is handicap races where there's a bit more information about what the horses have done in the past, how many races they've run and that kind of thing. So this is a classic example of what I'd call a reasonably good TP top rated horse. There's a couple of reasons why. It's obviously the highest here, not by a great margin. It's also got a good dob in play profit as well, 2.65. It's got a lot of tips. I mean, it's going off, well, the 6 a.m. price is 3.85. That may well come in before the off. It's dobbed in play a number of times. This is a 6 furlong race though, so you've got to be a bit careful when you go in play with 6 furlong races, because they don't often give you a lot of time to trade out if things go a little wrong. So in these kinds of races, I try to get a trade before the race if I can, unless I feel it's going to be a good chance of an outright winner. This is a reasonably competitive race actually. A lot of runners in here have come first before, so it's not like this race is made up of kind of horses that haven't done well. I mean, it is, but there are a few that have done well, and of course Lincoln Red has obviously won its last race. It's dobbed well in play. Pace form looks pretty reasonable at 3.5. It's up there with the rest. This one looks kind of interesting as well, Champagne, but again, see, you don't always have to go, okay, I'm going to go on the top rated. There are occasions when you may look at another runner and say, well, this one looks quite interesting. I mean, that price is a little high. That might well come in later, or it might go out. We never are sure. But, if you like to take a little bit more of a gamble, if you like, on runners, then, this one is not far off this one either. So, it could be, all three of these are obviously quite good, but these are the two that have done well in play before. So probably, especially as that's had some, pretty, it's had an 8 and a 0 there, and it's still showing a profit in play, or dob in profit. So it does show that, that horse does probably do quite well in play. But this is the one I would probably concentrate on this particular race, because 3.85 is not a bad price. If we have a look at Betfair on 14.20, it's now 12 o'clock, so we can see 2.82. So if we have a look at the graph as well, we can see that it did come in from the morning. It's kind of settled down now, but it definitely did come in. And if we have a look at the other two, Simba Samba is there, and Champagne. So where is Champagne at the moment? So Champagne's just dropped a tick or two, so nothing, too major. But again, it's come in. But these outsiders, they're a lot more harder to trade because there's not so much money on them. So you've got to be a little bit more careful about the prices. Tend to move about quite quickly, just purely because a bit of money coming in will change the prices. So in this particular occasion, I could still be. I'd probably watch the price now for a bit and see what happens, because sometimes with these favourites, they can go out again and then come back in again. So it's worth hanging around to see what would happen. Depends on how many ticks you want, and also there's a bit of a spread at the moment, and obviously not much money on this race at the moment, so you probably wouldn't go in this early. But it does give you an idea. So if we go down, let's have a look. Again, this one's made up of hardly any information, so probably stay away from it. Made in Manhattan. This is probably quite an interesting one. 200. It's got quite a high 1/4, not so high on the 1/3. Some people like that 1/3 to be high as well. And so in this case of Lincoln Red, you can see that it's got 139, which is, again the highest. So we've got the highest 1/3 and the highest TP. So quite a reasonable choice there. On this particular one, we got 200. Excuse me if I got a bit of a croaky voice. I've been suffering a little bit with hay fever, and it's made my voice go a bit weird for some reason. Anyway, again, there's a couple here. I mean, this one is quite interesting. Again, it's out at 12 though, but a good Dob PL. Dob the last two races as well, and it has come first before. So interesting that it's so far out. Let's have a look at that. This might be one that may actually come in. It's gone, the forecast price is 7. It's 12 at the moment. So we have a look at the 1440. Sorry, I didn't get the name of that. Hussar Ballad. I don't know how to pronounce that, but let's have a look. So, still not great, but, you might well see that price come in before the off. And you can see it's kind of gone out. It went out to 15 and it's been coming back down again. But again, in early in the morning, 6 grand on the race, any money's going to change that price. So I wouldn't be in there that early. But maybe 10 minutes before the off, it would be worth looking at and seeing where the price is on that particular one. And that would be a reasonable choice to go, possibly for an in-play 14 furlongs. So, it's a interesting race to get involved in, or an interesting runner to get involved in. So either of those, and in this particular case, my preference could be on this one here, but not necessarily. It just depends. I like the 1/3 rating. I mean, this has got a high 200, but if you look at this one, it's got kind of more highlights as far as the colours are concerned, and this one has as well. Just like the look of that for kind of what I call the outside punt, and that you might be able to. You wouldn't put your full stakes on or anything like that, but it could be one for an outside punt. And if we come down, this one again has got 400, but it's all hundreds. There's no real form. It's Philly's listed stake, so not a lot to go on. This one again has more information about it and could be one to think about. This is obviously going off. This might be one that you could think about going against. So the favourite, going against the favourite, just because this one's got some interesting information, and looks quite interesting. Obviously, you don't have to do all of these, and you kind of weigh it up as you go along. But sometimes when you see a strong favourite that's had one run, obviously one good run by the looks of it, you'd have to have a look at what the papers are saying about it, maybe. But there is a possibility that this could be a good one. Let's have a look at this one then. Antonio De Vega, 1500. So price is 5.2. That price could come in. Susan October rates the biggest threat. See, yeah, that one could come in. Could come in before the off. So another one to possibly look at. And that's basically what I do. Is, to be honest with you, some mornings I actually go through and make a list of ones I'm interested in. Other days I just kind of go through and go, oh, yeah, I kind of like this one. Let's see what happens. And that's kind of what I've been doing in the Facebook group the last few days. Is just basically going down the card and saying, yeah, I kind of fancy that one. I might go on for that, and seeing, you know, which ones I like and which ones I don't. I do like them with more colours, obviously, and I do like them with Dob PL. So, like this 8 furlong race here is a really interesting one. Excuse me again, with a lot of interesting information to go on. You know, that's dobbed, that one's dobbed. Keen prices here. So the favourite is obviously going to be down here somewhere. Yeah, down possibly this one, Leader Writer, right down here. But there are a few other choices in this race that you might think, okay, I'm going to, you know, go against the favourite and go for one of these instead, and see what happens. So the colour coding kind of just makes these runners stand out, where, you know, they've shown that they play, you know, do well in play, just because of the Dob PL and the number of times they've dobbed in the past and that kind of thing. As with horse racing, it doesn't mean it's going to happen in this race, but, you know, it does kind of make you look at it and go, yeah, well, you know, there's a good chance this is gonna happen. So, you know, if the race is right, the runners are right. When you come across a top rated as well, that's also a favourite, then, you know, a strong favourite, then you're probably onto a good thing. You're not going to make a lot of money on them, obviously, but I don't know if there's any today where you've got. So, yeah, not in that one. I don't think we've really got one, but sometimes you'll find, like possibly this one, price is 2.02. It's pretty much green, apart from that one there. You know, first, second, it looks like a good contender for a possible win. You kind of weigh it up, but, you know, there are others in the race that could possibly be, you know, give you some, or give it some trouble. But you know, everything's pretty much green apart from that one there. Price is right. You know, it looks like that could be a good contender for a win if you don't mind going on short price runners. And when you get, you know, a strong reading right across, sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit, but I was trying to find a good strong runner, and that's the best I can do. But sometimes you'll come across these cards where you've got, you know, all greens and the runner is favourite. It'd normally be a lower price, like that, 2 or less. You've got a pretty good chance. I mean, this is one I don't particularly like, just because purely these greens are based on one race. So, but it just goes to show, you know, it's well highlighted as a possible one to go on. But, you know, the information is a little bit suspect, just because there isn't a lot of information. But if you find a strong runner, then it's good. Anyway, this video has gone on far longer than I was expecting to go on. I just wanted to quickly go through the race cards and show you how I've been doing them in the Facebook group. So pop over, have a look at the TTS software. I'll put a link below this video, and I hope you like it. If you've got any questions, you know where I am. I'm in the Facebook group. You know, I kind of advertise exactly where I am all the time, so it's not hard to find me. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.